Hey everybody, good morning and welcome to the Digital Weather Desk powered by Century Next Bank. I'm Jared Floyd. Happy Wednesday. Now a little over a week from Christmas. Today is the official week before Christmas Eve. Alert, 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 alert. Christmas Eve, almost here. So you have 7 days, 7 shopping days. Good morning to Louisiana Cooker on YouTube. Take a check of the I-20 traffic cams this morning, and there is a little bit of sogginess on the roadways. We did see some light shower activity overnight. It's nothing overly concerning, but obviously there will be some slick spots here and there. Give yourself a little extra time to get where you're going, but overall traffic seems to be moving rather smoothly on this Wednesday morning. Check of the radar made possible by Brown's Roofing, and you can always schedule your free roof inspection at brownsroofingla.com. Again, we've seen some showers and even a couple of occasional rumbles of thunder during the overnight hours. Those were during mainly the 2 and 3 o'clock hour this morning. As we zoom in on the radar, and you can see the last of the showers continuing. I say the last of the showers, the last of the ongoing showers. Continuing to move through north central Louisiana, stretching from just north of Columbia into southern sections of Ouachita Parish back to the southwest, through portions of Wynn and Jackson parishes into Grant and LaSalle Parish as well. So areas like Jonesboro Hodge, Ears, Chatham, maybe as far south as Gina and like I said, the Clarks and Grayson and Columbia areas, probably all picking up some shower activity, at least occasionally, this morning. The Mississippi Valley also seeing its share of light rainfall through the course of the morning hours, maybe the occasional rumble of thunder along the way as well, as things have kind of continued to shake out on this Wednesday morning. Again, nothing overly disruptive or impactful, but exercise caution on the roadways. Quick check of rain totals, and again, these are obviously radar estimated and unofficial, but a lot of the numbers are pretty close. Monroe is now approaching 1/10 of an inch of rainfall at ULM. That's according to the Louisiana Mesonet, which is operated by ULM. Eris is approaching 1/4 of an inch of rainfall. And then aside from that, most of the other rain totals, at least from where I checked last hour, are in the few hundredths of an inch of range. So very, very light totals. Just to confirm that, 4/100ths of an inch of rain in Natchez, Louisiana, not Natchez, Mississippi. That's Natchez, Louisiana. 1/100th of an inch of rainfall in Farmerville. Jonesboro, 2/10ths of an inch of rainfall. Good for you guys. Lake Providence, 1/100th of an inch of rainfall. Mer Rouge, almost 6/100ths of an inch of rainfall. Winfield, 5/100ths of an inch of rainfall. So it's measurable rain. It's just not much. And we could add on to a little bit off and on as we go through the rest of the day. Temperatures across the region a little bit warmer and more humid to the south and west, a little cooler to the northeast, obviously, as we're streaming that low-level moisture in. We're right at 50 degrees, and that's kind of where we expected to start the morning. Morning lows were actually in the mid-40s, but then we saw temperatures climb gradually through the morning as the cloud cover increased and the showers returned across the area. Check a dew points, and again, they are a little bit higher to the south and west than they are as opposed to the north and east. Angela, good morning to you as well. But again, this sets the stage for us to see some occasional light showers. It's not an overly saturated air mass, so most of the rain should be fairly light as we go through the day. And the off and on occasional rumble of thunder, not completely out of the question, but most of this generally looks to be rainfall. Winds are fairly light, and visibility is fine, except for in Camden and Magnolia, where the visibilities are somewhat more limited, but the rest of us faring okay this morning. Speaking of visibilities, they could be a little bit of an issue tomorrow. Ahead of that frontal boundary, expect some patchy fog to develop, mainly after midnight. This is about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, according to the Futurecast, which is always made possible by Bayou Power Sports, I-20 Frontage Road in Monroe. The fog continues to increase, and visibility is probably not ideal as we head out the door tomorrow. The good news is eventually we'll generate some showers, maybe a few thunderstorms, and we sweep a cold front through the region. That should clear things out as we go into the day on Friday. Futurecast showing clouds, rain, temperatures, shows the scattered shower activity that will fester through midday. It looks like this afternoon we dry out a little bit, but then the clouds and fog roll back in through tomorrow morning, setting the stage for our next cold front, with daytime highs still expected to generally reach the 60s to near 70 in many locations ahead of that boundary. most of the computer model data continues to be very lackluster in rain coverage as we go through the day on Thursday. And as the front advances through from late morning through afternoon, I would generally expect to see rain. Some showers along the boundary or immediately ahead of it. Maybe the occasional thunderstorm. But severe weather seems very unlikely at this point. The one marginal risk that's out is well northeast of our area. And again, this looks to be a fairly pedestrian cold front. It will bring some cooler air for Friday. We bring another boundary now in on Saturday, and you'll see that in just a minute. So skies clear as we go through the day on Friday. Clouds pick up kind of sharply Saturday, maybe some patchy fog again. And this is a new little wrinkle in the forecast. There was the question on whether we could get another weak boundary to pass through the area this weekend, and it's looking more and more likely that we could work a weak cold front in Saturday night into Sunday morning. Could bring some outside chances of rainfall. Outside meaning some small rain chances. All rain chances are outside. Rarely rains inside. Good morning, Janice. And good morning, Gloria. But again, the last of those showers skirt off to the south. We may be a little bit cooler Sunday, and the 7-day forecast reflects that now. But then temperatures rebound quickly early next week. And when I say a little bit cooler for Sunday, still above normal for this time of year. Daytime highs today in the low end of the 60s. Some spots may get stopped in the upper 50s depending on cloud cover and how that treats us through the day. A few showers will be possible with winds out of the south. Lows tonight don't fall off much, only into the mid-50s as the clouds continue. Some patchy dense fog not out of the question. Rain chances drop down to about 10% through the late night hours, but they're back up to about 40% tomorrow. I don't feel great about those rain chances. A lot of the computer model data still hints at 50 and 60% rain chances. I felt more comfortable in the 30% range, so we'll split the difference. We'll bump it up to 40. If you want to know the scientific method behind me building rain chances, a lot of it is looking at the data and seeing the numbers and then kind of, I don't know, fudging the numbers in one direction or the other to make it feel a little bit better in my mind, because again, I sometimes I see 50 or 60% rain chances, and I'm like, I don't like those. I think it's too high or it's too low, and then you just bump off that. So I dropped down to 40%. There is some data that says 30 and 40%, so I don't want to sit here and say that I'm trying to go against all of it, but that's how it shakes out for Thursday. A little bit cooler for Friday, back into the 50s. The weak front Saturday, that's, as I mentioned, kind of the new wrinkle in the forecast because it drops us back into the mid to upper 60s for Sunday. In fact, some areas on Sunday may struggle to get into the low 60s. It may be a quick little punch of cooler air. So I'm talking about southern Arkansas. You folks may struggle to get into the low 60s for Sunday afternoon. So a little bit cooler. Temperatures rebound right around the corner for Monday and Tuesday. And the rain chances are back out for the early parts of next week as well. Kelly says she has to drive from El Dorado to Bossier tomorrow. Safe travels. But yeah, pretty quiet conditions. There will be some slick spots on the roadways. We're already dealing with that. That'll be off and on for the next few days. Bayou Bengal 90 on YouTube says, God gave us all the nice cold weather just to put us back in shorts and short sleeves in Christmas week. Yeah, you know, good Lord has a little bit of humor when it comes to Christmas in the Arklamas. For the record, Monroe has never seen measurable snowfall on Christmas Day. Measurable snowfall. We've seen trace amounts of snowfall on Christmas Day back in 2009. I went back and looked at the records. 2009, I don't necessarily remember the trace amounts of snowfall, and I remember everything. I'm also looking to see El Dorado also had a day. Let's see, average snowfall, total snowfall, one day. I'm gonna go back and look real quick while I have everybody here. The white Christmases that we've had in El Dorado. Restrict data range 1225. Yes, this is how I do things when I'm looking up. All right. El Dorado has never had measurable snowfall on Christmas Day either. Good morning, May, Rena, and Stefan. But they have had trace amounts of snowfall 1966, 2009, 2012. That's just according to the data at the El Dorado Airport. So we have never technically seen a measurable snowfall in El Dorado or Monroe on Christmas Day. I have some information coming out tomorrow. The top 10 warmest high temperatures on Christmas Day and the top 10 coldest low temperatures on Christmas Day for Monroe and El Dorado. That comes out tomorrow evening. Just a little line-out for you to, look at as we go toward the Christmas holiday. So that's how the forecast shakes out as we go into this Wednesday, December 17th. Full disclosure, today, actually this morning, is the last morning of school for the kiddo. And so she'll be at home with us for the next 2.5 weeks, which is great. But that does mean that there will be some bend and flex with the content schedule. I think the morning streams will pretty much be unchanged. The evening streams may be a smidge earlier or a smidge later, just depending on what the family's got going on. And the midday streams probably as normal because that's when she naps. So that kind of works out all in that regard. We have some travel plans. We'll be in Central Arkansas this weekend. That's a pretty brief trip. The weather looks fairly quiet, so I don't think you'll need much from me this weekend. But I'll have all my equipment just in case I absolutely need it. Becky and Brenda, good morning to you. And then we are headed to Lafayette next week in and around Christmas Day. Again, weather looks pretty quiet. I'll be providing content, but I'll be on location. And it'll be on a brief schedule, on a more limited schedule. And obviously, as conditions warrant, if we had some kind of crazy severe weather threat over Christmas Day or some drastic change that we needed to talk about, I would bring that to you. And we will still have daily forecast updates and all that stuff. I'll still be working just from a different location. And that's just kind of how I prefer it. I like to be able to see the changes in the forecast and how things evolve. It just makes me feel better. Christy on YouTube, thank you. Good morning. John and Amy, good morning. Merry Christmas to you as well. Evelyn, good morning to you. Safe travels to everybody as they head out and about. I know this weekend will be a big travel weekend, and then obviously it just continues through next week. And the weather conditions look pretty nice. We'll start looking more and more into the specifics of the forecast for Wednesday and Thursday over the next 48 to 72 hours. Forecast is always available at digitalweatherdesk.com and on the Digital Weather Desk app, available for Apple and Android users. Just uploaded and tweaked some of the numbers for the next couple of days, so you'll see that, and then we'll overhaul the forecast a little bit later this morning with the very, very latest, and you can check on that at your leisure. As always, thanks so much for making the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank, part of your morning. I'll join you around midday with an updated look at the forecast, look at the radar. If anything crazy happens between now and then, I'll let you know about it. Too Long Didn't Read comes out at 9:30, and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.